All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Diavel TV. Here we are with episode 7 of our WWE 2K25 MyGM playthrough. Quick recap. In the previous episode, we did hit our WrestleMania of Season 1, so Season 1 is now over. And full disclaimer, we did actually win. So we won the entire series, got inducted into the Hall of Fame. We got 3 out of 3 required trophies to satisfy the win condition. However, we were on such a roll that we have made the executive decision to do a Season 2. So there will be a Season 2 for our MyGM playthrough, and that starts now. So in this episode, we will do our roster saves, so we will identify the superstars we want to carry over into Season 2, and then we will also perform our redraft. So we will be completely revamping our roster and seeing if we could maintain this lead through a second season. All right, so without further ado, let's jump back in. Beginning of Season 2. Now we can identify, so since we came in first, we get to identify 3 keepers that we get to bring into next season. So let's see if anybody inhibits pretty good value, and we could think about potentially keeping them. So we get to pick 3 total superstars. So let's see if anybody jumps out at me immediately. 194,000 for Randy, a double champion, extremely high popularity, critically low stamina. I'm not sure if the stamina resets. Even if it doesn't, this is definitely a risk I'm willing to take. We are going to keep Randy at $194,000. And let's see, Luke Gallows for 151. His in-ring is almost level 23. Cody's is as well. 151 versus 188. If I do keep Cody, so I like Cody, this is a definite bargain. His popularity has dropped a little bit since we drafted him initially in Season 1, but just keep in mind, if we do draft Cody, he cannot immediately jump into a rivalry with Randy Orton because their rivalry blew off at WrestleMania. So I do think, however, I am going to take Cody. I mean, he's just a great all-around superstar in real life and in this game. He has a very high ring level. That popularity we can definitely work on, but again, still concerned about that stamina level, but that's something I can work with. Our second keeper is going to be Cody Rhodes, and then our third keeper I do want to be a female. So let's see, Charlotte, no, way too expensive. We could do Jade, Kaylani, Alexa maybe, potentially Alba or Gigi. Gigi's a good option. JCJ and Cora Jade, no, not really jumping off the page. I mean, those are very cheap options, but these are 2 ladies we could probably redraft if we really wanted to, for very cheap in the redraft. So probably not going to take them. My heart and soul wants to keep Kaylani. She basically carried our women's division for quite some time in the latter half of Season 1, so I feel like I kind of owe it to her, but all's fair in love and war. So it's definitely between Kaylani and Jade. Jade has more popularity, about the same ring level, but is $9,000 more. Kaylani, 68 popularity, higher stamina, not the highest morale. So you know what? I think we are going to take Jade to headline our Season 2 women's division. Sorry, Kaylani. Maybe our paths will cross again in the future. I can't make any promises. So we are able to keep 3 of our top superstars that will headline our brand for Season 2 for a total of $552,000. And remember, we do have a $4 million budget, meaning we have $3.5 million to draft the rest of the roster. Let's go ahead and confirm that. Let's see who else is being kept. So NXT Mutiny is keeping Austin Theory, Rey Mysterio, good call, Io Sky, Tyler Bate, Gunther, and Damian Priest. NXT, so our nemesis Shawn Michaels, is keeping Josh Briggs, Jimmy Uso, Mark Coffey, and Carmella. That is an interesting combination of superstars to keep, Shawn. Hope that works out for you. Okay. And then Ava over at WCW is keeping Carl Anderson, Bianca Belair, Noam Dar, Tama Tonga, and Santos Escobar. So again, another interesting combination, but let's hit the draft and see what's going on. WCW takes Alexa Bliss. NXT takes Rhea Ripley. And Mutiny takes Dakota Kai. So 3 straight women off the board immediately. Let's see who we can take to get on to the SmackDown brand. So immediately I will need a top face and a top heel to join the top level feuds with Cody and Randy. Guys, do I forgive and forget and bring Roman back? Or do I bring Seth back because he has 10 more stamina than Roman already and he's only 4,000 more? Popularities are about similar, but you know what? I think potentially it is too big to pass up on the Tribal Chief. We're going to let bygones be bygones. And I think we are going to take Roman here. And then I might want to take Braun back or like a Finn Balor to feud with Cody. But for our first pick in the Season 2 redraft, we're going with the Tribal Chief. This is Lena Vega to WCW, Joe Coffey to NXT, and Piper Niven to Mutiny. All right. Maybe we look for a female. Maybe we can look for a heel female to feud with Jade right off the bat. I'm not anticipating being able to find a higher level woman that can feud successfully with Jade. Asuka is not a bad idea. Maybe we can slap the women's title on her, get her popularity up, so the popularity between her and Jade will not have a very large disparity. So that's an option. Who else is down here? Not many people at all. Candice LeRae for $250,000. Braun Strowman, I might pick him up later on in the draft. I do want to have the Monster Among Men on this roster if I can make it happen. But for now, I think I'm going to be taking Asuka here. I think that'll be a very good feud right off the bat, and we can potentially make that a title feud. SmackDown chooses Asuka. The Empress expanding. WCW takes Jacob Fatu. She's looking for a fight here. NXT taking Nia Jax. And Mutiny taking Dragon Lee. So let's look for a heel. Braun Breaker is an idea. He is a little expensive. So you know what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at the bottom of the list and see what's down here. See if anything pops off the page at us. Nothing currently. Nothing at all. We could bring back Obafemi. Honestly, he was a little bit of a disappointment in Season 1, so I'm not inclined to do that. But let's see what else we got. Gigi Dolan. That's somebody I might look into bringing back. I don't know. I cannot make any promises. I like the idea of a Shotzi. Maybe later on in the draft, bringing back Wesley. That is also an idea. Trick Williams. They did good things for us in Season 1. Okay, Lonnie Jordan, our girl. $194,000. Potentially, yes. But again, for now, I'm looking for a heel male. Omos, Solo, Grayson Waller, Liv, Shayna, Pete Dunne. No, none of these people are really intriguing me like they should. Carlito, no. Carmelo Hayes, no, not Logan. He's had his shot. He didn't really do much. So you know what? I am going to go big. I am going to go big with yet another pick. We are going to deplete some of our budget early on, and we're going to take Drew McIntyre.
The Scottish Warrior heading to the blue brand. A world-class.
So Berto to WCW, Otis to NXT, Chelsea Green to Mutiny.
The next member of SmackDown is about
So
to be picked.
I'm thinking now, because it seems like there's been a run on women in the first 4 rounds, that I might want to bolster up our women's division. So let's see who we can potentially snag here. I like the idea of a Tatum Paxley. It's a very high stamina and a decent popularity that we can definitely work on. Blair Davenport, bringing back Gigi again. That is a good idea. Gigi Tiffany feud, potentially. Gigi and an Isla Dawn, maybe. Well, let's grab Gigi, get it out of the way, get her locked and secured on the roster for Season 2. Katana Chance to WCW. Akira Tozawa to NXT. And Grayson Waller to Mutiny. So if we're drafting based on potential feuds, now we would look for a heel woman to potentially jump into a feud with Gigi. And that heel woman, Candice LeRae, I like that idea, but there's probably somebody we can get for a little bit cheaper. Definitely not Wendy Chu. She absolutely terrifies me. She's not a heel, but I do want to make note about Kairi Sane. I want her on the roster. That is a pick that I can potentially make in the later rounds. Shayna Liv Morgan. So Liv is definitely going to be the pick, especially with that stamina. That popularity is abysmally low, though. Oh my God. A 40. What were they doing with her over on the brand she was on in Season 1? My God. Even Scarlett has a higher popularity than Liv Morgan. How does that work? Be a Hale, Julius Creed. Okay, you know what? Elektra Lopez, 76 stamina, 48 popularity. So that is a higher popularity than Liv Morgan for almost half the cost. Elektra Lopez, welcome to SmackDown. Oh, so our boy Luke Gallows, our MVP of Season 1, goes to WCW. Fallon Henley to NXT. And Ludwig Kaiser to Mutiny. So currently, we are sitting at 4 faces, 4 heels, 4 men, 4 women, obviously 8 specialists. So currently, we are sitting in a perfectly balanced state. And if you watch the Season 1 draft, you know that's typically where I like to be around. So let's keep this going. Let's see again if we can find anybody who has significant value. Carmelo Hayes, honestly, not a bad idea. Tony D'Angelo, Brutus Creed. Just looking for people with high stamina, high popularity, and not that expensive. Okay, Omos can definitely, you know what? While I am thinking about it, I think he's up here. We are going to take, because I want him this year, Braun Strowman, the monster among men. Andrade to WCW. Elton Prince to NXT. And Zoe Stark to Mutiny. Okay. Honestly, I like the idea of potentially getting 2 more women from the bottom of the list, a heel and a face, like a JC Jane and a Kiana James, to kind of shore up or round out our women's roster. So I think that's what I'm going to do currently. For our heel woman, we can either take Cora Jade or JC Jane. I'm actually going to take neither because, remember, last season, both of these ladies got that power card played against them that reduces their in-ring level down to a 0. And remember, we were contemplating if that would be either a temporary or a permanent debuff. It's permanent. Okay, they are still at 0 in-ring, and they have been that way for quite some time. So we are going to let them rot at the bottom of the list, and we are not going to take them. Unfortunately, as much as I would like to, that would just be too much work to build them back up. So we are going to pass on that. I don't like the idea of a Blair Davenport. Tatum Paxley's in-ring is a level 17. Okay, for $143,000, I think we take her.
obviously looking to prove herself to
Caden
the
Carter
GM.
to WCW. Kit Wilson to NXT. And Wolfgang going over to Mutiny. So, technically, again, if we're keeping balance here, we do need a face female. And I have the perfect person to fill this roster. Where are you? Where are you?
SmackDown chooses Kalani Jordan.
Bringing back our golden girl, Kaylani Jordan, for Season 2.
I thought she'd be long gone by now. This draft is
So Nathan Frazier goes to WCW, JC Jane goes to NXT, and Lexis King to Mutiny. So let's look for potentially a heel male now, or somebody we could potentially turn heel that would make sense in Kayfabe. And just to be honest, as a side note, while we're on the topic of role changes, I don't personally feel comfortable having Roman Reigns as a face in general. It just feels wrong. So at some point during Season 2, I envision turning him heel and having a feud with Cody Rhodes, potentially our big WrestleMania feud, having him feud with Cody for the championship. But we are going to start with him as a face, and we will play the season and see how it goes. But that's my intention as of current, because, again, it just makes me so uncomfortable seeing that face symbol next to him, because, honestly, he was one of the best heels in WWE history during his heel run. So we'll see about that. So back to the task at hand. We are looking for a male heel, or again, a male that we can turn heel. Let's see what's out there. Big Bronson Reed. That's honestly not a bad idea, because honestly, in real life, that kind of feud with Braun Strowman would be absolutely sick. So let's keep that in the back pocket. Brooks Jensen, absolutely not. Valhalla, Omos. Do we take Omos, guys? Do we take him? Honestly, I think we do. I think we take Omos. We're going to take Omos here.
SmackDown drafts Omos.
That's Axiom to WCW. Julius Creed to NXT. And Shayna Baszler over to Mutiny. So I want to grab Kairi Sane. Okay, I want her on this roster. I definitely want her on this roster. Where did you go? There you are. You're a little expensive. Okay, but I can deal with it. I want you on the roster, so that's going to have to be a worthwhile investment. We're going to have to build her up, but I have no problem with that.
Being drafted this late, this is an origin story.
So Blair Davenport to WCW, Chad Gable to NXT, and Javon Evans to Mutiny. Okay. Kiana James, heel woman / legend heel female. That is a crazy stamina. Oh my god. That's pushing 90. So good for her. Indy Hartwell, 46. Compare her to someone like a Lash Legend. Lash Legend significantly cheaper, higher stamina, similar popularity. I'm going to take Lash Legend here. That will be the last female that we draft. The rest of our superstars will fill out the men's division. So Oro Mensah over to WCW, Ivy Nile to NXT, and Akam to Mutiny. So I do want to take a step back and reassess our budget situation. So we are currently sitting at $990,000 in overall budget. We have 7 faces, 7 heels, 6 men, 8 women, and obviously, again, 14 specialists. So ideally, similar to last season, I do want potentially 2 more men to make it an 8-8 split, or potentially even 3 more men to make that a 9-8 split. But we do have to be budget conscious. So the lowest I'd be willing to go into Season 2 with would be about $350 to $400K. Money is very hard to come by in the early on when you are building up the popularity of your roster. Not so much for us, most likely, due to the fact that we spent season 1 working on logistic upgrades. So we will be, Jesus Christ, we will be starting season 1 with upgraded logistics. I don't know what everyone else is at, what all the other brands have in terms of logistics, but I do know ours are in good shape to make us some money. So I'm okay with not going in with $500,000. I am okay going in with a little bit less. So we can make one more splash if we need to, because to be honest with you, I was looking at maybe a Finn Balor or an AJ Styles, but that price tag is hard to justify currently. So like an LA Knight would be a good option as well. Definitely something, we can think about. Don't need any more women, so I'm not even going to take a look at Bailey. I liked having Carmelo Hayes on the roster. His morale was very hard to keep up, but he did some good things in the tag division. Andre Chase, no. Cedric Alexander, no. You know what I want to do? Where is he? Where's Trick Williams? There you are. Trick Williams, $187,000, 57 stamina, 57 popularity. Welcome back to SmackDown for Season 2, sir. Baron Corbin to WCW, Razor to NXT, and Kiana James to Mutiny. So, we have Trick Williams. Now let's maybe see if we can find someone for you to feud with right away, or potentially insert into a tag division. And honestly, Obafemi fits the bill. They feuded once already in Season 1, so as a last resort, we can pick him up. But honestly, he's good value. So, no. So, Bronson Reed, low stamina, okay, decent popularity, but this is a value. I think there are a lot of potential rivalry implications here. If we take Bronson Reed, we have Omos, we have Braun Strowman, we have Bronson Reed, and if for some reason we picked up another absolutely massive individual, even like a Drew McIntyre that we already have, or a Roman Reigns, that would be a absolutely behemoth tag team division match. So I think I am going to take Bronson Reed here, and we'll see what we can do with him. Tiffany Stratton over to WCW. Karrion Kross to NXT. Eddie Thorpe to Mutiny. So again, since we already did one round, we will reassess our budget. $618,000 remaining. We are at 8 faces, 8 heels, 8 men, 8 women. So perfectly balanced. But I do want to pick up 2 additional males. Okay, because again, having a big roster, especially in 2K25, is imperative. And because you remember the stamina issues we ran into last year, oh my goodness, it almost got ugly. We're definitely not taking John Cena. I don't know why I hovered over him for so long. That is definitely not going to happen. Let's look for some mid-range guys that jump off the board. JD McDonough, 17 in-ring level. Good for him, honestly. Joaquin Wilde, level 19 in-ring? Are you kidding me? Damn, he was putting in work in Season 1. Again, good for him. Solo, so we had Solo on Season 1, and he got into some trouble. We did end up having to actually fire him and terminate his contract. So lore-wise, Kayfabe-wise, there's no reason why he would want to return to SmackDown. So he's out of the picture, unfortunately. We could definitely do like an Apollo Crews, Ridge Holland, Ilya Dragunov, Ethan Page, Eric. We're bringing back Wesley. Wesley, sir, welcome back to SmackDown for Season 2. WCW takes our boy Obafemi. NXT, Raquel Rodriguez and Ilya Dragunov heads to Mutiny. So this might be our final pick of the draft. And technically, if we are going to keep things at least relatively balanced, relatively equal, we are going to be looking for a heel male. right? Or somebody who could very easily and quickly turn into a heel male. So let's see what is out there. Okay, again, Shotzi, I'm sorry. Maybe if we run the MyGM series back and start over, do a different type of challenge down the road, you know, maybe I'll pick you then, but I'm sorry, it's just not going to work out currently right now. Ivar, Solo, you know, honestly, I want to take him, but he's just, it wouldn't make sense. So we got to go back down to the bottom because our budget is getting kind of low. And then we are going to take Ethan Page, because Ethan Page has fantastic stamina. But honestly, Brooks Jensen has 6 more popularity, the exact same amount of stamina, and he's only trailing the in-ring level by 2, which we can fix. Yeah. Brooks Jensen, you are our final pick for Season 2 of SmackDown. Charlie Dempsey to WCW, Ridge Holland to NXT, and Lola Vice to Mutiny.
SmackDown contemplates
Okay, we are going to end it there. We technically don't really have the budget remaining to do any additional picks. And again, I do want to bring some cash over into Season 2 so that we can just basically hit the ground running and start strong. We're going to go ahead and confirm our roster. This is an absolutely ridiculous card, ridiculous roster. Randy, Jade, Roman, Cody, Kairi Sane. We have Drew McIntyre, Asuka, Gigi Dolan. This is a star-studded brand. There ain't no way we don't win this season. So NXT has finalized their draft. Not going to lie, that looks absolutely atrocious. Rhea Ripley is somebody I might look at trading for after the first PLE. I definitely want Mommy on the brand, so if I can do that, I am definitely going to.
The Puck Rock brand with their next pick.
And Mutiny is now done.
Some big names picked.
Honestly, not too bad. Mr. Fuji might actually be a threat this year. Who knows? Jury's still out. Remains to be seen.
Great talent remaining for WCW.
And then WCW is done as well.
Big boys and girls on the WCW
honestly,
roster. That
that is a solid women's division. Bianca, Alexa, Zelina. I'm sure they have a couple others. Top men leave something to be desired, but Ava could come out swinging for this too.
Let the games begin.
So let's take a look at our overall rosters. I think everyone ended with around the same amount of people on their rosters. Oh, so actually, would you look at that? We actually have the lowest number of superstars across all 4 brands, not by 1, but by 2. So in terms of numbers alone, we are already at a disadvantage. But that's okay. I could accept a handicap because we already in first place, and technically, we already won. So I don't want to say Season 2 is a throwaway. It's still going to be entertaining. We're going to put the exact same amount of effort into it. I just want to see how it goes with a new brand of superstars. So we already are at that disadvantage. We might run into some stamina issues, but we'll see. So let's go into Season 2 and see what we got going on before we book our first show. Triple H, I was pleased with your performance at SmackDown last year. No time for complacency, though. I've had meetings with the management at WCW, and I'm confident they'll be stepping up their game this year. Yeah, zero chance that anyone overtakes us. It's just not humanly possible. They are all garbage, trash, dog water. We're cemented in first, okay? Triple H says, I'm counting on you. Let's have a great season. Sure, buddy. Oh, Mr. Fuji, I have to admit, SmackDown did a better job than NXT Mutiny did last season. You think you came in dead last, but we know how to correct that, so watch your back. Yeah, the lead I have is insurmountable. There's no way you're coming back, but I can admire your confidence, but I am going to bust your confidence probably by the 5th or 6th week and have you crying in a ditch. All right, so Mr. Fuji, you can get off my nuts. Good luck with that. You lost last year, and you'll lose again this year. Pride comes before a fall, my friend. That's very interesting that you say that because you've been doing nothing but falling in the rankings ever since we started this at the beginning of season 1. Okay. John Michaels, how's the prep going, Elizabeth? Can't wait to see the battle between NXT and SmackDown this year. Sean, I will donkey kick you in the back of the head. Okay? Get out of my DMs. Obviously, with the likes of Josh Briggs on our books, we think we're going to give SmackDown more than a run for its money. I guess we're going to find out. Bro, who even is Josh Briggs? I have never heard of that man before in my entire life. Okay? And you think he is going to be your saving grace? Buddy, I think not. Okay, it's just not going to happen. You're going to have to sign like The Undertaker, Stone Cold Steve Austin, Batista, and John Cena if you even want a remote chance in hell of competing with us in season 2. It's just not going to happen. Cody Rhodes says, I'm not happy losing my strap last week as a former champion. I'm enacting my rematch clause. I want a championship rematch against Orton. Nobody else better get a shot at the world title before me. So the issue here, okay, is that Cody and Randy blew off their rivalry at WrestleMania, technically last week, meaning their rivalry is now on cooldown. So if I do a match between Randy and Cody for the championship, it is going to suck. So that rating is going to be catastrophically bad, okay? But I am inclined to do this, simply because Randy is currently a double champion. And if you remember from season 1, you know what my opinions on a double champion are. I don't like them. So if I can get the belt, one of the belts, back on Cody, that will be best for business, best for ratings. I am going to attempt to accommodate that this week. Although, okay, actually, so looking at Cody's stamina, it's 62. So their staminas did reset. That is absolutely fantastic. Okay. We got a blinded card. Selecting the opposing brand to start next week with 0 scouting points. Okay, sold out card. Select an opposing brand, double the price of their power cards in the store next week. A homecoming. Select a contracted superstar on your brand to be busy for 2 weeks. When they return, they will be a permanent superstar for your brand. That's going to be huge because we're going to use this to try to sign a legend or a top tier guy early on in the season once we accumulate just a bit more budget. That is absolutely massive. Okay. So what I think I'm going to do, guys, okay, is I am going to end it there. And in the next episode, we will start our traditional format for our MyGM episodes. We will start the week after the PLE and bring it up to the PLE, complete the PLE, and that will be the end of that episode. I don't want to keep making these things too long, so the draft be a nice change of pace, a nice 30-40 minute episode, and then going forward, the regular episodes, we should be aiming for about 45 to 55 total minutes. Okay, so that will do it for episode, I believe we're on 6 or 7 now. I am actually losing track. That's how many episodes we've pumped out of this in such a short time frame. If you did like this video, I would ask that you leave a like on this video and leave a comment down below. It really helps out the channel, helps the video, and helps us get promoted to other individuals who might be interested in this content. Otherwise, helps with that YouTube algorithm as well. If you are so inclined and you are invested in this series or our My Rise series or are getting excited about our advertised Adam Fall playthrough here in a couple weeks, I would ask that you subscribe to the channel. All of those mechanisms that I just outlined to you are free and will not cost you absolutely anything. All right, so it's been a pleasure, guys. Hope you enjoyed, and we'll see you in the next one.